Thank you for stopping by, guys. In this episode, we have stand-up comedian Mike Eshaq. We talk about his journey over from Detroit. We talk about him producing Swamp People. He is a veteran, so we talk about conspiracies, get a little political. It's a very interesting conversation. Mike's got a lot to say. He's a hilarious comedian. So like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Listen to us on Spotify or iTunes. Give us some feedback. Let us know what you think. Take care. Give it up, Mike Eshaq. What's up, buddy? It's good to see you. Cheers.
Cheers, bro. Thanks for all this
tequila. It's been a while.
Man.
Yeah, good, man.
This is, look at that. This guy's trying to kill me.
I know you're a big pothead. I didn't know you drank tequila, too.
Yeah, man. Tequila, pot, mushrooms. Those are my go-tos.
Nice.
Yeah, bro. You do psychedelics?
Oh, dude. Are you kidding me?
Like, still?
Yeah. Like, still. No, bro. Those were the early 2000s.
You're like, yeah. Oh, I still, man. Every day.
I was down in Tulum a couple weeks ago, and dude, like they had fucking ayahuasca signs, like, "Hey, come do ayahuasca," with a shaman, dude, all over the place. And
I'm kind of worried
DMT
about doing that
too.
In Mexico. I'm kind of worried.
I was a little worried too. Yeah.
Did you do it?
No, I didn't do it. Yeah.
Okay. They had DMT also.
DMT experiences also.
So what, did you have to like go out into the woods with these guys and some shit?
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm not privy to that, bro.
Yeah.
That's like, I think they're going to take you over there and then they're going to like blow angel dust in your face. And then you're going to wake up and your liver's gone. You know what I mean? You're going to be sitting in some ice and a note for the nearest hospital that you can go to.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, man, that's pretty extreme, but I think that it does happen around the world. I think in China, they do a lot of that stuff where they fucking
harvest your kidneys.
Yeah. That's crazy, bro.
I know, bro.
It's nuts.
Maybe because I do a lot of mushrooms, I think too much. You know what I mean? So like, I think of every fucking angle, like, wow, all these, like, I extrapolate everything that I can that could happen. And then I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do that. That sounds stupid. Have you done DMT though?
Yeah.
How many times?
Like 3.
Damn.
Yeah. It was nothing crazy like Rogan talks about. I didn't,
Did you not do enough maybe?
I mean, maybe it was just mixed with other stuff, tequila and mushrooms.
Did you smoke it? Was it like a powder that you smoked, right?
No, it was a powder. Yeah. Oh, no, I put it under my tongue once.
What the fuck
and that
is
was
that?
okay. No, because and then I didn't know you had to smoke it.
You're supposed to smoke it.
Yeah.
Some guy gave you the powder and you put it under your tongue?
Yeah.
And something happened?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It was like Molly.
But it only lasted like real short, right? It didn't last long.
Yeah, it didn't
15
last long
minutes.
at all. Yeah. Have you done Molly?
I have done Molly. I've done old school, early 2000s ecstasy, which was really crack and like mixed with like rat poison or some shit.
Drano.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. Ecstasy. Those were the days, Mike.
The early 2000s, those were the days, bro. Remember? Rolling?
Yeah, dude.
And then like you'd be having a good time, but you're like this.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Nuts.
I know. I used to go to those rave parties in Detroit when like the ecstasy was hitting really hard, man.
Yeah.
And I knew a couple of guys that would like roll so hard, they would have the sucker in it and they broke their tooth.
What?
Yeah. I know 2 guys that did that.
Oh, my God.
And it's like, at that point, bro, I think it's time to give it up, cuz. What the fuck? You broke your tooth?
Yeah. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Sometimes it would be so intense, bro. I'd go into a club and I'd be rolling so hard. I'd go into the stall and I wouldn't come out until last call. Like my friends would have to come get me, dude. It was just so overwhelming, dude.
Really?
Yeah. It was
I never took it like that, man.
Huh?
No.
I just think it was like really strong back in the day.
Well, because they were cutting it with everything.
That's what I mean.
Like, I think the stuff that I was getting was cut with like acid. It was like you had ecstasy, but then you were also getting this cocaine.
Yeah.
And then sometimes acid,
heroin.
it felt like.
I think because like you got a body high too. It was like so intense, man. I think a lot of opioids were mixed into it.
Really? I don't know, man.
Speed. Oh, think about it, dude. Like heroin and like, whatever, meth. I don't know.
I don't know either. I've never done meth.
Yeah.
I had morphine at the hospital. That shit was supposed to be kind of like heroin.
Yeah.
That shit was whoa, bro. That was like, I mean, I felt good and I was just
Morphine?
love morphine.
Yeah.
Because
that's an opioid.
They had to work on my knee one time, then they gave me the button.
Oh, fuck.
And then every time you click it, it just give you a dose, and I was just like, "This is amazing."
Yeah.
Dude.
Why? So you were awake for the whole thing?
Yeah.
Obviously, if they give you a button.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It was. I had like this big giant like cyst on my knee.
Okay.
They call it a boil.
Oh.
It was like really big. It was just a pus-filled volcano on my fucking knee, bro. And it wouldn't pop, so I had to go in. They had to cut that shit, and they numbed me up. And because of how much they had to like dig out, they put me on morphine afterwards. And then I was just like sitting at the hospital all day with this button.
Yeah, did they put a syringe in there and they pulled out the pus or whatever was in there?
Yeah, bro. They popped it, and then all the pus came out, and then they took like some type of forceps or like listen, because I'm a mechanic, like diagonal cutting pliers. You know what I mean? Like little pliers, like little needle nose pliers,
Jesus.
and like went in there and then like pulled out this big chunk of like pus that was like hardened and like block at your face.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And then they were like, "Yeah, bro, you're sit here for 6 hours and get high," and it was fucking great, bro.
Yeah.
I was really, really impressed with that. That was the only time I ever had it. And now,
because it was clean, right from the doctor, right? That was the good shit.
But at the same time, it's like I could tell how important it was for me never to have that again.
No,
because I can really love that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you ever done heroin?
No. I was drugged by a girlfriend at the time. She was a tweaker. She put on some meth into my margarita, and I didn't know it. And I was like, whoa.
She put meth in your margarita, so you can drink meth too?
You're not supposed to. I mean, because it really, I think there is Drano in that, because my throat felt like it was burnt.
Like you drank Nair.
Yeah. No, exactly. No, I felt like I at least like maybe had a first degree burn in my plastic, whatever. I can't even say it.
Yeah, we're too stupid to know. Esophagus.
Yeah, esophagus. Yeah, exactly. It's nuts, dude. Yeah, fucking tweaker. She used to smoke it. I didn't even know, dude, because I didn't even know what the hell meth was.
You were ignorant to it completely.
Yeah, I was.
And whatever she was on, you weren't even like able to like scope that out or figure out what she was on. You were just like, her ass is nice.
Right. Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Right.
Especially when you're young.
Yeah, especially when you're young. Yeah, exactly. Because like what we know is like, oh, someone's drunk. Yeah, you could tell. Someone's high. I could tell the guy's high. But like meth, I wasn't aware of like the symptoms and what that fucking entailed. But yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, man, meth. Never done it. I'm scared, bro.
Yeah, you should be.
I have an addictive personality, bro. My whole family's like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta choose my drugs wisely. And for me, it's weed.
Yeah.
Tequila, occasional mushrooms.
Yeah.
DMT. I've done it 2 times.
Yeah.
The second time I did it, I fucked up.
Yeah.
I took too much, bro.
Yeah.
I took maybe 3 doses worth. Because I didn't measure it out.
All right.
And I still don't want to do it again. That's how intense that DMT trip was, bro. It was to a point where it was kind of like I had my fill. I think I figured it out. I think I'm kind of done for now. And it's interesting, man. It's like it was so intense that for the first time ever, I'm kind of like, I'm okay with psychedelics now. It's kind of like I went to the penthouse of all psychedelics that you could get, like the levels of high.
Yeah.
I made it to the penthouse.
Okay.
And the people in the penthouse were like, you're done.
Yeah.
You made it to the top.
Yeah.
Here's your trophy. Get the fuck out of here.
That's cool.
But I'm hoping for the day where I'm ready to go again.
Yeah.
Because this next time I want to go with an intention.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of that? Like people would say, like before you go on a DMT trip or something like that, or like a mushroom trip, do it with some type of an intention. Maybe there's a question that you have, something you're trying to fucking figure out in life. And they say sometimes if you have that intention before you go and travel into that trip, a lot of the times on the other side you'll get an answer.
That's a good idea. I've never done that. No, it was just like, let's see what kind of wild shit we could have, But I know there's a lot of benefits to it. That's why, there's micro dosing, the mushrooms right now, because it's helping so many people in so many different ways. I know that I always feel like if I had any sort of anxiety, it was taken away from me after a mushroom trip. And that's why I recommend it to a lot of people that that are very anxious people. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah.
But you got to be careful. It's very easy to take a little too much sometimes. You know?
But even if you do, it's not going to kill you.
No, it's not going to kill you. But it could scare you. And it could, sometimes you could take, I think when people with anxiety got to be careful though, you know?
Yeah.
Don't give them too much, man.
Yeah.
Because I think people with anxiety could really, like, if you gave somebody with anxiety a really, really big dose, and it was their first dose, you could really, really break them, man. You know?
Yeah.
I think that when it comes to psychedelics, you just got to go slow.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree.
Like, I'm at that point now, I've done it so much that I respect it.
Yeah.
Like I'm a Marine, like how I respect a gun. Yeah. Like if a gun was in the room, how much respect I would give that gun.
Sure.
That's how I am with psychedelics now. Does that make sense?
No, it makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not like, woo, anymore.
Right. Sure. And you should be. And I respect that you respect psychedelics like that, because I have the same respect for psychedelics too. Like, as much as like I think they're like so much fun and this and that, I think that they should be legal, you know, because you know, they did start using them as you know, an aid, you know, like therapists used to use it on couples, ecstasy too.
Absolutely.
That's where it all started.
Yeah.
You know, and they used to do that, and same thing, you know, with acid. You know, they used to use that, you know, with the military and whatnot. So
MK Ultra, the CIA developed that MK Ultra program because when LSD was found out, the CIA was like, hey, maybe we can control people's minds with this shit. So they would kidnap Americans in the middle of the night and fucking dose them with LSD and just watch them and see if they can like try to feed their brains with lies and stuff. It's like a really fucked up thing. And like, you can find all of the documents. They're all declassified and everything. And then in the end, they basically found out, nah, man, we can't control people on this. It actually makes them think too much.
Yeah.
And I was like, better make that shit illegal, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
You see? Yeah, that's crazy.
But at first, they were trying to see if they could use it to control people.
Yes. Like,
but then they found out, nope, opposite.
Like Corona. Ooh, nice segue.
Let's talk about that.
Nice segue.
What do you think about that? I want to know, bro.
Well,
let's go there.
After we just talked, we just said what we just said.
That was a good segue, though.
No, that's what I mean.
Like,
like if you don't think that the government is perfectly capable of doing that and generating it in the lab and doing what they want with it, you know what I mean? That's like, you'd be silly not to. Especially after the history, if you know already that the CIA bought drugs from Nicaragua and sold it to the LA streets
so that they can fund a war in Iran, without the Iranians knowing, because basically look how crazy, that's the Iran Contra scandal. So basically, Ronald Reagan goes, we're gonna do a war on drugs. Little did Americans know that the war on drugs was focused on black communities. Okay. Yeah. They flooded the streets with drugs that they got from people that they hooked up with in Central America. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then they flooded the American streets on this war. So they go, we're going to do a war on drugs. Yeah. We're going to secretly flood drugs into the United States. Yeah. Targeting black people. Yeah. Then the money that they make from those drugs. Yeah. They funnel those in underground networks, and they fund Iran to fight Saddam Hussein in Iraq. All the while, Saddam Hussein thinks we are on his side. So we're supplying Saddam Hussein with weapons to fight Iran. But at the same time, we didn't want Iran or Saddam Hussein to either get stronger. So what do? We illegally funnel money to Iran and fund them with weapons without them knowing. And we did it all on the backs of black people. Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah. So if you know that something like that can happen and has happened and has been documented, it's fact. Now, when you tell me that the government used Corona, part of me goes, that's a little far-fetched, but another part of me goes, keep talking. Yeah. I mean, you never know,
bro. I mean, think about back in the 80s, bro. If someone would have told you what you just told me, repeated what you just told me to you, that what the government's doing it, you'd be like, yeah, all right, buddy.
Yeah, you're a little crazy. Yeah. Should lock you up.
That sounds like a movie, bro. Yeah. That's a premise for a movie.
It's diabolical.
It is diabolical.
It's diabolical. And we participated in it.
Yeah. But we didn't know we did.
No. But we are always participating in things that we don't know. With these fucking shitheads that we put in power. Don't get me started, bro. The mushrooms are kicking in.
Not only that, we gave guns to Nicaragua to overthrow their government because we wanted our guy to be running it down there.
Yeah.
Not the guy that was running it at the time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So we've helped, countries overthrow their government because we didn't like the guy that was in power.
We do that all the time.
How about that? Yeah.
We do that all the time.
Right.
We'll fund, this happens all the time. We will fund someone to fight someone else.
Yeah.
Then when that person succeeds in their mission to fight the other people, we turn our back on them. Yeah. Then they hate us. Yeah. And then we use them as an enemy to unite the American people to do other fucking shit.
Right.
Like Osama bin Laden.
Right.
He was our boy.
He was.
We were funneling money to him to fight the Soviets in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And then when he finally did everything that we were hoping that he did, we were like, oh, fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And then he was like, no, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah.
And then like both him and America used their enemies as a way to recruit people.
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild, dude.
So back to Corona.
I'm just saying anything's possible, dude. Like I believe a fraction of what I'm told. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm the same way, man. Part of me, so there are some biologists that have gone public and said that if you looked at Corona under a microscope, it has the telltale signs of something that's been manipulated in a lab. Okay?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But the thing is that, okay, it was created in a lab. And let's just say Wuhan. Then maybe that's probably where, because we know that they were studying it there, okay? They're going to blame it on the wet markets, okay? But now that it's out there, biologists are going, hey, it doesn't look like it evolved naturally. It looks like it came from a fucking lab.
Yeah, right.
Now, do you think the Chinese government and the American government and the Soviet government and all of them are working in unison to try to shut down economies? Or do you think that it just went out? And this is what I think happened. I think it just came out on accident.
Yeah.
And as politicians do, they use opportunities like this to seize power.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you think? Do you think it was like created as a conspiracy to shut us down? Or I don't know. I want to know what you think.
I think what you just said, I agree with.
Which one? The second part?
The first one.
They actually created it to, so all of these countries are working in unison.
No. I feel like it got away from them.
Yeah.
And shit went wrong and now it's out.
It's just an accident.
Yeah, it's an accident.
And some politicians are taking advantage of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's how everything goes.
Sure. Yeah. Because who's affected by it immediately? The 1%, right? Because they own the most of it. Businesses, whatever. So if things shut down, who's affected right away? The 1%.
I don't know about that. No, I think it's easy to think that that's not the case. I think the 1%, they have so much money, Eric, that they can lose so much money. I don't think a lot of people understand how it works to be rich. If you have, let's say you're somebody that saved money, okay?
Yeah.
Let's say you saved $100,000, $1 million, you have disposable income that you can use because you're rich, right?
Yeah.
Economies collapse, right? Your businesses are now doing less, correct? When the economy collapses, prices of everything seem to go down. Housing, whatever, right? Now you're dealing with accumulating assets at rock bottom prices. You have $1 million. That $1 million is now worth more than $1 million, buddy. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the top 1%, man, you can shut down all their businesses right now. They still have too much money.
Right. But they didn't get all that money because they're okay with losing money.
No, I know that. But
in fact, they hang on to money more than the broke people.
That's why we're broke. What makes wealthy people wealthy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you got to understand though, they still have so much disposable income that now that assets have gone down in prices, they can accumulate more assets because when the economy picks back up, now they have even more than they had. Yeah. So to me, it's like the people that really get hit hard the most is Main Street, not Wall Street. Main Street.
Yeah.
Us.
Yeah.
We're the ones that get hit the hardest because you take our everything and we have nothing left to fucking work with.
Right. No, well, I'm not disagreeing with that. I mean, we're getting screwed, through taxes, and the wealthy are paying none. So of course we're getting screwed.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I always tell my liberal friends, man, I have a lot of liberal friends that are just too, they don't understand finances. They don't take it seriously. Like, I can't help it, man. Growing up Middle Eastern, being an Arab in America, you realize right away, all this fucking game you guys are playing with politics and this president's better than that president, every Arab knows one thing.
What?
You're still going to blow us up. It don't matter if it's a Democrat, you're going to blow up our homeland. I don't care if it's a Republican, you're going to blow up our fucking homeland. That's just what you guys are going to fucking do. And I think majority of people in America, especially liberals, need to have an Arab mindset. You need an exit strategy. Any fucking Arab or minority you talk to, I bet you any money they have some type of exit strategy, whether they have finances, they figured out things, investments, multiple income streams. They're doing stand-up, but then they're also selling homes, like my boy Willie Mack, Like, a lot of my liberal friends, man, that I know, they don't have exit strategies.
But if what you just said, like what the Arabs know that everyone else doesn't know, is that whether you're Democrat or Republican, you're going to blow our shit up.
That's it.
Then why pick a side, and why are you?
That's why when you see Arabs in this country, we're only focused on one thing: money. That's it. We don't get bent out of shape. How many like white liberals you see losing their shit over stuff that changes that's nothing? How many Arabs you see losing their shit because you're blowing up their country? None. They just come here, they buy a gas station, then they buy another gas station, then they buy a fucking apartment building, and then they buy another apartment building. And then they just fucking keep doing that over and over again while you guys are blowing up their country. You know what I'm saying?
It's like the Chinese do that too. Chinese own like, I don't know what, it's like 40%.
Chinese
of
are real
States.
hustlers, bro.
Yeah.
They're the real hustlers, man.
Want to talk about buying shit and owning shit. China, I think the Sears Tower in Chicago, now it's called something else, but I think that's owned by a Chinese company. So, yeah, that's why, they changed the name.
It doesn't surprise me. I mean, they all have a lot of money in our economy, especially in like U.S. bonds.
Yeah.
And, I think a lot of Americans don't realize how our economy is been up for sale to other countries. And at a drop of a hat, they can pull their money out of our economy and we are fucked.
Yeah.
So, it's like we're living in a mansion, but the foundation is built with toothpicks.
Yeah.
That's basically what we're dealing with when it comes to our economy right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. To me, I'm just like I'm just like, especially like right now, I'm just baffled, bro, because I'm starting to see like all of the flaws. Like Trump exposed so many flaws on the liberal side. Trump, do you know what a disclosing tablet is?
No.
Do you know remember when you went to the dentist, and the dentist, like after you were done, he would give you this kit to go home, and it had a toothbrush and toothpaste.
Oh, yeah.
And then he gave you those little tablets, and he said, he goes, I want you to floss really good.
Yeah.
I want you to brush close to your gums, right? And he goes, and then you'll know if you missed a spot. If you eat this disclosing tablet.
Right.
And what it was like an orange tablet.
Yeah.
And then you ate it, and then it turned all the spots that you missed orange.
Right.
That's what Trump did for the liberals. That's what Trump did. When Trump came in and then COVID came in, it really exposed to me how weak many liberals are and how unprepared many liberals are. Like I used to be one of those liberals a long time ago where I would look at you as crazy if you had to get a gun or get a CCW. I'm like, why are you paranoid? Like that's a mindset of a liberal. You know what I mean? Like, why are you paranoid? Oh, you have a food stocked up in case there's like nuclear war. Conservatives are about that shit, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's smart.
Yeah.
You don't know what the fuck's going to happen around the corner. And to me, that's one thing that it exposed. It exposed a lot of weak ass liberals and how I realized I needed to strengthen my defenses. You know what I mean? How I had to start thinking about my finances and shit like that and being more prepared. But I don't know, man. These are some fucking fun times, bro. It is.
I mean, so you own properties in Detroit, you were saying, so it's rental properties, right? So you have tenants over there?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of tenants were like, sorry, landlord, I don't got it.
Not many of them.
Really?
Bro, I'm very good at what I do, man. When it comes to fucking real estate, especially when it comes to renting properties, I'm a good judge of character, Eric. I can read people, bro. Like,
you don't need a background check. Huh?
I'm going to do that too.
Oh.
I'm going to do all that.
Yeah.
But sometimes even the background check and the credit score don't mean shit. Sometimes you can just sense from a person that if things were to get a little shaky, they would try to take advantage of it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So out of all the homes I had, only 3 of the tenants kind of gave me problems during COVID.
Uh-huh.
And what's funny is all those 3 tenants, I didn't place them.
Okay.
My new property manager placed them. So there was a point recently where I was like, maybe I can just let it go and let the property manager handle it.
Yeah.
And the last 3 people that he placed were the ones that are giving me trouble.
Wow.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
And all the ones I put in,
yeah,
they're all paying. Some of them are paying months ahead of time.
Wow. Huh.
So, yeah, man, real estate can really bite you in the eye. I think a lot of people put shit people as tenants.
Yeah.
And then they have that nightmare.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. I used to have roommates because I used to own houses, and I would, pay practically half of my mortgage with the rent that I was getting from my roommates.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And
That's awesome.
yeah, it was great. And I found all my roommates on Craigslist, and they all worked out. And I think I'm a pretty good judge of character too, because all the ones that I took on, none of them screwed me. The only 2 that screwed me were ones I was doing a favor. They were friends, right? So
see, there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go, man. I mean, like, would you be somebody who would like wait a long time to find the right tenant?
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes I would leave one of my properties vacant for like 3 months until I found the right tenant.
Of course.
It makes all the difference.
It does.
I have a lot of guys who like in the renting, they're like, what the fuck, you haven't rented out yet? You're losing money. I'm like, no, dude, I'll lose more money if I put the wrong person in there.
Yep.
Because it takes 3 to 4 months just to evict them.
Yeah, I know.
And then that person, if they hate you, could tear the fucking place up.
Yep.
And then now you're not only in the hole of the rent that they should have owed you, now you got to fix the place. Mm-hmm. Thank God I've never had that.
Especially in California, they have more rights than the landlords. Like I'm sure in Detroit it's the other way around, but in California to try to evict somebody, I mean it's brutal.
Bro, you won't even believe what happened with this one property I had, bro. My God.
What happened?
This lady owes me $16,000 in rent.
Wow. Still?
Because of the government, bro.
Oh, okay.
Before COVID, I had to evict her.
Uh-huh.
The judge was nice to her, gave her a chance. Then she didn't pay again the second time. Took her to court the second time.
Yeah.
The judge was nice to her again. Gave her another chance. Then I had to take her to court the 3rd time, bro. And on the 3rd time, finally the judge was like, okay, you're obviously playing games. You need to get out of here by the end of the month. Before the end of the month hit, COVID happened. Freeze on all evictions. That bitch is still there.
Wow. Dude, you got screwed, bro.
Hard.
Wow.
Hard. That's the hardest. That's the hardest. That's the hardest I've been screwed. And she obliterated the home.
Wow.
No, it's obliterated.
Really?
It's obliterated. It's obliterated. She completely fucked it up. Like, I have to now just sell the home. It's like,
oh my God.
Yeah. And it's all because the government just was, for some reason, just too nice for some dumbass reason.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
It's brutal, dude.
I know, man. But, yeah. I don't know.
So are you one to believe conspiracy theories, or you just feel that way about COVID? And, I mean, how do you feel?
You know, when it comes to COVID, I don't really believe in the conspiracy theories. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I believe that it came from a lab.
Okay.
I do believe that. Mm-hmm. Especially with a lot of what the biologists are saying. That, you know, these scientists have been actually looking at under a scope and what they have been saying. I do believe that. Mm-hmm. I don't believe we need to be like shutting shit down the way we're doing. Mm-hmm. I think we're overreacting. Yeah. I think we're at a point right now where the weakest people in our society now all have a voice.
I got these cards, Mike. I'm going to just ask you questions. I'm going to pick a random card and you answer it. It's that easy. If you could instantly become one what would you want to be an expert in? It's become one.
Is that
an
how
expert? Yeah. So it's basically saying an expert. What would you want to be an expert in?
Oh, I want to be an expert in time travel.
Okay.
Fuck yeah. Do we have to like keep it in reality?
You don't want to be a shitty time traveler. You want to be an expert. That's so funny.
Nah,
like it doesn't even exist. You want to be the best already.
I want to be the best time traveling expert there is. Yeah, bro. And when you said, do I want to be a good time traveler?
Yeah.
Fuck no. I want to be a selfish time traveler. I want to go back, make myself rich.
Yeah. Nice.
You know what I mean? Get a selfie with Hitler.
Yeah.
Now everyone wants to kill Hitler? Nah. We can't fuck up. We can't fuck up the universe, bro. We got to keep things the way they were, you know?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't know what I would do with time travel. Like if you could time travel, bro.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you would do?
Oh shit.
Right? Like how's this? If you could only time travel once.
I know. I want to see the dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's very good. I want to see the dinosaurs. I would definitely want to see the dinosaurs, right?
Yeah.
Fuck
Dude,
yeah.
Imagine seeing a fucking, T-Rex, with those small hands, fucking crushing, just eating like a wild, or like those flying ones. What are they
Pterodactyls.
called?
Yeah.
Supposedly those were like the size of a plane, dude.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I always felt like if you were going to time travel, you would be able to fly. Because I would hope you would be able to fly.
Yeah.
Because most of the fucking dinosaurs on the ground, bro, they'll fuck you up, man. I'm like worried. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of like that's a risky time travel.
Right. That is risky.
That's risky. Like what if you like popped into a moment where a T-Rex was about to bite into a brontosaurus and you're donezo.
Right.
That's what you see of dinosaurs, the inside of a T-Rex.
Right.
Fuck that.
Right. No, I mean, and there's so much shit that could kill you. You know what I mean? Like you going back to see, you know.
Do you know how like dinosaurs might have had feathers?
Mm-hmm. What?
Did you know about that?
No.
Did you know about the whole like connection they made with birds and dinosaurs?
No.
That birds are descendants of dinosaurs?
No.
Yeah, that dinosaurs were actually birds, not lizards.
Okay.
So the birds that we're seeing today are the dinosaurs are their ancestors.
Oh, okay.
So basically like the atmosphere on Earth was different. There was like way more oxygen, so things were bigger.
Okay.
Trees were bigger, animals were bigger. And, there was this one discovery in the northwest of America where an ancient volcano erupted. And it ended up encasing a bunch of dinosaurs in clay.
Okay.
So they died instantly and were molded in this clay. And when they excavated this clay, they pulled out and you can see a dinosaur that died in the clay and it had feathers.
Oh, okay.
And not only that, they actually took a chicken egg. And they manipulated the genes in one of the growing embryos. Yeah. An old ancient gene that was turned off. Okay. And when they turn it on under the microscope, the chicken starts growing with fangs and starts growing with like claws. Yeah. But the problem is they can't keep it alive long enough. It gets to a point where it ends up it just dies. Wow. When they turn that gene on.
Wild.
So now they're realizing that they weren't lizards after all. They were birds.
That's crazy.
So that would be really cool. You go back, you find out they're these colorful giant monster. Because think about it, man. Have you ever seen a rooster fight?
Yeah.
Up close?
No.
Bro, they're fucking ruthless. Now imagine if the rooster was the size of a fucking building. We're all fucked.
Yeah.
I saw a rooster at a rooster fight in Bali, Indonesia, win the fight, right? And the other rooster gave up and was like already bleeding and done, and it wasn't enough. The rooster literally walked up to it, put its claw on the other rooster's neck, pushed its head on the ground, took its beak into the eye socket, pulled its eyeball out, and then went through the eye socket and pulled its brain out.
Come on.
I swear to God. I swear to God.
You must have had good seats.
Yeah, we were right in the front.
Yeah.
Right in the front. I got two of my boys from Detroit that came with me, two Irish guys, bro. They can confirm it. It was, bro, it was so ruthless. Now imagine that thing the size of a building. We're fucked.
Yeah.
It's a ruthless animal.
That is ruthless.
Yeah, birds are ruthless.
So are monkeys, dude. They rip their other genitals off.
Yes.
Fucking crazy, dude. Ugh. Yeah. Like just bam.
Yeah, rip it out.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Like that's common practice.
To think that's what we used to be. Bro.
Yeah. I know.
And now we're all soft.
Mm-hmm. Now we're all soft. Let's go back to that. All right, here's another question for you. If you were to die tomorrow, what little thing would you regret not doing?
What little thing?
Yeah.
What kind of fucking question is that, bro?
Phrase it like that. What little thing would... So...
Did you get this in Spain or some shit, bro?
No.
Okay.
I got it online.
Can I see that?
It was in
If you were to die tomorrow, what little thing would you regret not doing? So what's one thing that I would regret not doing?
But it's a little thing, so it's not a big deal. Not like, oh, dude, I should have went to college, or I should have, went out with that girl that meant so much to me, or I should have asked her out. Little thing, I guess, maybe you should have changed your underwear before you went out. I don't know. Is it weird?
That's a hard one to think about, man. What little thing? I don't know if I've really regretted many little things, man.
Right. You brush it off.
You do brush it off.
Right.
But if I were to think, what little thing I regret not doing? Killing the president.
Don't say that.
Well, I can say that. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
But I regret not doing it.
Oh, no. But I mean, if
Obama specifically, because he bombed my people.
Oh, okay.
He bombed the shit out of fucking Yemen. He can get it.
Mm-hmm.
Little thing. No, I don't really regret many little things, man.
No, okay.
Let me try to pinpoint one. Okay.
So Yemen, that's where your family's from?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe a little thing that I do regret is not being able to successfully make a threesome happen between my two ex-girlfriends.
That's good.
That's a little thing that I regret.
Yeah.
It would have been a good one,
Yeah.
Have you ever okay, you know how you have sex with some people,
mm-hmm.
and some people some girls you fuck, it's like, man, that was amazing. Then other girls you're just like, this was okay, right? And then you fuck another girl and she's bisexual and she's really amazing. It's just like, man, if I can get them two together,
yeah,
that would be I would give up on life. I would just give up. I would stop taking showers. That's it.
Yeah.
I would hit the peak of everything that every guy wanted to.
But do you agree with the stereotype that if they're good in bed, that they're crazy as fuck?
It's true.
It's true.
I can't help it, but it's
true. So imagine
true.
you grab this crazy bitch and then this crazy bitch, and
that's great. That's great. That's the best thing ever because it's only happening for one night. It's not like you're marrying them.
Yeah, I guess.
It's like if you marry them, that's the problem, bro.
She could go sideways with crazy bitches. That's all I'm saying.
Man.
But it'll be worth it, right?
Yeah. What's one little? What did you say? I was thinking of
no, I was just saying that shit could get crazy with two crazy bitches.
Yeah, but then you can just end it. You don't live with them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if it was like a girl you're dating.
Yeah.
That's a crazy girl, and then you got her with another crazy girl, and then now you gotta
right. Now you gotta live with that one.
Live with that rope,
Right.
But if they're just like,
yeah.
How about you?
Well, no comment since we're at my girlfriend's house.
But little things that you regret. Little things that you regret not doing.
A little thing not it'd be probably taking more risks on stage, There's a lot of sets that I go over in my head and I was like, oh man, I should have just tried out that new joke, or I should have went there with this heckler, or I should have started a different way. I'm always replaying sets in my head.
Yeah. Those are little regrets that I have.
Yeah, little regrets because, you could have did it, but just move the fuck on.
Are you good with crowd work?
Yeah.
You are good with crowd work?
Yeah. Really
I want to get better at it.
Okay.
You're
good at crowd work. I seen you,
When it can.
Yeah.
I'm not, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I prefer to do material.
Yeah. See, when I first started out, I didn't have much material, so I did a lot of crowd work because I was good at improv, off the cuff kind of things, and then I got it sucked because you stick to what you're good at.
Yeah.
And so I did that, but then, 2 years go by and I don't have a lot of material.
Yeah.
So that's the downfall of that. So then I started focusing on just material. So, I mean, something's going to suffer.
It's very good that you brought this up, man, because I want to start taking more risks on stage.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like, look, I don't give a fuck when I'm on stage, but I do.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about what I'm saying or if someone gets offended with what I'm saying, but I do give a fuck about the audience having a good time. To me, I don't want to waste their time.
Right.
I really want to give them the best possible show.
Yeah.
Which is why I like giving them my type material.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
And I think I need to let go of that.
Yeah.
Because I think that's how you grow, You
do. That's exactly how you grow.
Because I think there's times where you got to do that. Give them the tight show. Then sometimes you got to sacrifice it and be like, I got to try to do some new shit.
Right. Yeah. It just sucks going through it.
Yeah.
Because
I feel like I cheated them.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah. It's crazy, dude. Have you ever seen, Chris Rock workout stuff? Or
I've seen Chris Rock work out at the OR.
Dave Chappelle work out some stuff.
Oh, of course. Well, Dave Chappelle will just take over the Comedy Store for 4 hours. It'll turn into a town hall.
Right.
He don't even try to make people laugh.
Right.
He just asks people questions about dentistry and shit.
But at least he's more entertaining. Like when Chris Rock doesn't try to make somebody laugh, it's really dry and really, because you realize that how much of Chris Rock's act is that sauce he puts onto the way his cadence and all that stuff.
Yes, the way he delivers it, the energy,
all that. Yeah. It's all the sauce.
And when he's working it, he's just figuring things out.
It's like, I
saw him before he hosted he did the Emmys or the Oscars?
Yeah. At the store?
And he came to the store the night before to run some fucking material.
Yeah, I saw him too.
And
he had the notepad.
And he was in the jacket and everything. And he just showed up. And he was very not laying the sauce on. Right. That's a very good way of fucking no sauce. Yeah, just figuring it out.
Yeah, and long pauses.
Yes,
and that's like
to the point where people like us at an early stage would be like, "What? Are you seriously just gonna not make people laugh for 5 minutes, bro?" Yeah. Right? Yeah. But they're working it out, and they don't give a fuck because they have already proven themselves.
Yeah.
So they can afford to not give a fuck. But at the same time, I think us comedians need to go in and out of giving a fuck and not giving a fuck just so that we can grow, because that's where you grow, man.
Yeah.
That's where the shit gets. That's where you you'll have a 10-minute set. You'll try everything new, and you'll try some crowd work that maybe something I don't like doing, and then out of that 10 minutes, 2 minutes was fire.
Yeah.
Or something came out of it that makes you now have another bit that you can try to work on and stuff. And that's where it's at,
Dude, totally. Bro, I mean, if you get something that you could work on out of a set and it's something you're just trying out, man, there's nothing more valuable than that.
Yeah.
But we're so scared, and we're very reluctant to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But think about what you get out of it if you do take that risk.
Right.
Fuck, it pays off.
I think that you also, I don't know how you feel about this, Eric, but I also feel like I'm still in that new stage, even though I'm gaining experience and I'm feeling it and everything. I still feel that, like, if I'm doing a new place, let's say a new club, or there's a booker that I really want to get on their radar, or whatever it is, I feel obligated to only give them the polished shit in those moments, because 1, nobody knows me. 2, I really can't afford to do new shit in front of a club that I'm trying to get their attention.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, though? Like, I mean, those situations.
Well, no, because there's money on the line. So I say that, you
got to do what's up.
You got to do what's up. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I agree too.
Yeah. But I could also see that when you do have money like Chris Rock, and you could afford to not give a fuck, even if they're paying you, right?
Yeah, but you know what? Here's the thing, bro. Is it the money or is it the art? So I think they can afford not to give a fuck within the art form. I don't think it's money. I think that they've proven themselves in the art form to the point where they can afford to not give a fuck every once in a while.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like they don't need to.
Right.
Whereas like people on our level, there's moments where we have to strategically know, hey, this is a moment to give a fuck.
Yeah.
This is a moment where you got to come correct.
Yeah.
But then that's where you also fuck yourself, right? Because sometimes you have to come correct for a show, but you fucking so consumed with being correct with the show that you really didn't give 100% because 20% of your brain is, I don't want to fuck this up.
Right.
I don't want to fuck this up.
Yeah.
And then your energy's not there like it would be on a show that you don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And that's the balance.
Yeah.
It's a motherfucker. That's why I take mushrooms, bro. I think like microdosing mushrooms can get me into that flow state, you know?
Why is that?
Because like I was listening to like some podcasts like when they were talking about like experts talking about microdosing, just like how you said, you felt like people who had anxiety could benefit from it because if you microdose a little bit, it just melts it away, right? There's something about microdosing mushrooms where it makes you go into this gear that you never could have accessed before. And it's a gear that's like, hey man, everything's going to be all right. It's same gear. We're still in gear 5, but it's on another parallel universe. And it's a parallel universe that tells you, hey man, everything's cool. Something about it. It just mellows me out to the point where, especially when I'm on stage, I'm not tripping, but I'm in that gear to the point where I can just flow and not care, you know?
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you're thinking because that's exactly how I feel about mushrooms. That's why I think they're so beneficial. They're so beneficial, man. Like that's, because we're so caught up in our everyday life, bro. We got so many things on our mind, and that restrict us from actually getting in that flow state, bro.
Exactly.
That's why they say meditation is really good for you because you do kind of melt away all the other stuff, right? And then you could really,
Amen.
Yeah.
It's like you're remember on Windows computer defragging. It's like you're defragging the hard drive.
Right.
When you meditate, or especially when you take mushrooms, it allows your brain to do some spring cleaning.
Yes. Yeah.
It literally goes, hey, this is some bullshit we need to stop thinking about.
Yes. Yeah.
Or when you're tripping really hard, the way it makes you deal with it, this is when you trip really hard, it can hurt people. Just be very careful. If you take a lot, it can be very fucking scary, but it's also beneficial.
Yeah.
So it'll be like, you trip so hard, your mushrooms will be like, hey, look at all these skeletons in your closet that you've been trying not to talk about.
Yeah.
Wow. Remember you not talking to your dad for 13 years? Let's fucking investigate that for a fucking eternity. And then now you're just like, oh God, I feel like shit about this time. This is all stuff that I've been trying to hide or whatever. Yeah. But what mushrooms does for me is that it makes you deal with that within that 6 hours.
Yeah.
And then after it's done, it's like, we're done with that now.
Right.
It's like you went through 5 years of therapy.
Yeah.
In 5 hours.
Right.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. That's like spring cleaning for the brain.
Yeah. Empty out the cache files.
Yes, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Delete history.
Right. Yeah. Delete history.
But not completely.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not there for you to fucking mull over.
Yeah.
Completely.
No, I agree.
Like it's ego reducing.
Ego. Yeah. Totally.
Like the way I look at the ego is somebody who's like your friend that's protecting you too much. Right?
Yeah. Right.
Like you're dating a woman, she's a fucking piece of shit to you.
Right.
But your ego's like, yeah, man, but come on, bro. Think about it. How often do you get a girl this hot?
Yeah.
Do you really want to let that go? Let's play it safe, man.
Yeah,
It's not often you get a girl that's big.
Yeah.
Look at how round her booty is. Look how this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Look at all these superficial things. And that's what the ego will do. The ego will be like, no, man, you don't want to shake that boat, man. Things are going good. Look how people look at you when you go to parties with her. They're like, wow, you can pull a girl like that. Look at all these accolades that people... But then when you take mushrooms, that guy leaves the room. And now you're just like, she is a bitch. And now you're starting to like really think about how she's treating you. And like you start replaying moments that you let your ego like not let you look at this certain thing. You start replaying those moments and you're like, that bitch she doesn't have my best interest. Who the fuck am I doing? And that's the scary thing about mushrooms. But we need that, bro.
Yeah. No.
We need that shit.
What? We need the what?
We need
the protector?
No, we need the ego.
We need to shed the ego.
We need somebody to tell our ego, get out of the room for 6 hours.
Right.
So we can really look at the shit that we haven't really been looking at.
That's what mushroom does.
That's what it does for me, bro.
Right. No, I totally agree. And going back to the stand-up, I think that's how it would be beneficial to get rid of your ego, because your ego is protecting you on stage. It's saying, hey, bro, you're going to work out that new bet right here, right here in front of that girl. Dude, you're going to fall in front of your face. And your ego's like, dude,
Fucking nailed it. That's exactly it.
I know.
And it's so funny. It's like it's a balancing act with the ego. You still need your ego.
Right.
But you need to know how to like dial it in.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes the ego is not there enough.
Right.
Sometimes the ego is there too much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And I
think you need that ego when you're making that deal with the booker and saying, no, I'm not going to take this. I'm worth this. Okay, give me this amount.
Right.
Okay, that's where the ego, is like, all right.
I'm not going to look like a piece of shit. I'm actually going to fucking look good. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to dress nice. I'm going to like, what are those are really good things that your ego can come in, especially like when you're writing. You'd be like, no, this can be better.
Yeah.
This can be tighter.
Yeah.
This can be whatever. But then you're right. The ego can get in the way of your flow. So like if you're on stage and you're like, maybe now's not the time to do that new joke because the booker's here.
Right.
Maybe if you would have got rid of that mindset, you would have fucking went into that bit naturally, and it would have been the most beautiful thing that's anyone's ever fucking seen.
Yeah.
But it's a battle with the ego, man. There's been times where I would tell my ego to shut the fuck up and then do the joke that I'm afraid to do, and then it bombs.
Yeah.
And then when I inspect why it bombed because damn it, I was scared.
Sure.
I was scared. Right. I was just scared. That's all it was. It's the reason. It wasn't the audience. I wasn't delivering that energy the way it's supposed to be delivered.
Yeah.
Because inside I was like, oh, I'm going to do it.
Right.
But you delivered it
half-ass, right?
You know?
Yeah.
You're in the back of your head with it.
No, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
I love talking comedy. This is what I love about this, bro. Being able to like talk comedy again, man.
Yeah.
One of the things I miss about like hanging out at the Comedy Store, or just hanging out any type of comedy venue, just even in between sets, just fucking getting there, talking to other comics, saying what you want to say, and then breaking down comedy.
Yeah, same here, dude. I miss it, and fuck. Did you have any mentors? Is when you're coming up, or
like no, I don't actually have any like real mentors yet. You know, it'd be nice to get one.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah, I did. I was a feature act for this headliner, and he kind of took me under his wing, and he taught me a lot of shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
bro.
It was awesome.
Yeah. I'm hoping to get to that level, man. I mean, I'm still new, you know? And then it really pisses me off because a lot of like what comedy is about, it's about the hang, getting your, becoming friends with a lot of comics. Because then when you start meeting other comics, you realize how small the comedy world is, bro. Like even just, I'm in 4 years.
Okay.
But when I even hit my 1.5 year mark and I started going on the road to start doing shows, it was crazy how you could be in Boston and I'm at some podunk bar in Boston.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there drinking. And some guy's like, hey, what do you do for a living? We're just talking. Some guy at the bar. And I'm like, oh, I do stand-up comedy. Hey, do you know Hadron? Yeah, I know Hadron. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I went to high school. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Or even when you go to other clubs, like, you'll see a headliner. A headliner knows some guy that's an open micer.
Right.
And it's just...
Right. I'll be at the dentist, and the dentist will be just talking small talk. And like, what do you know? And then, I know somebody she knows.
It's funny, isn't it? Like, it's a real small world, bro. Like, it goes to show how scared people are of doing stand-up. Not many people want to do it.
Yeah. Good.
We doing more cards?
What? No. I mean, I kind of want to. I'll go back to the cards, but I want to talk to you about the because I didn't know you were a producer on Swamp People.
Oh yeah,
which
bro.
was a hit show.
Yeah, it was a hit show, man. I was very lucky to work on
that. And it's wild, dude.
Yeah,
because it was shot in where?
Louisiana.
Yeah, Louisiana.
The year that I took over, they also branched out to 2 characters in Texas.
Oh, okay.
T-Roy and another guy. I forgot what was his name. It was T-Roy and then his other partner. But yeah, mostly Louisiana.
Yeah. That's crazy, dude. Like, because that Cajun talk is like hardcore, right? Were you able to like?
We had to subtitle them.
Oh yeah, right.
Every episode, you ever know? We had to subtitle everything they said.
Yeah.
It was I remember the first season, it was really hard at first. I was like, man, I don't understand what any of these motherfuckers are saying. But then after like 3 months of like going through footage and all of a sudden you start adopting and you start understanding what they're saying and shit.
Yeah.
But they talk like this.
Yeah.
We got to get them gators. Oh, I don't need regular. Yo.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
So were you out there on the boats or were you like...
No, man.
You were behind the scenes?
Yeah. I was post-production.
Oh, okay.
But then sometimes I would go out to the field and do the actual like production in the swamp. But I had the cush job. I was more like we would produce episodes. So it's kind of like we would sort of direct where the episodes are going.
Yeah.
As opposed to being on the boat with the camera. So the guys on the boats with the cameras also have some type of producing knowledge, right?
Yeah.
This is what was cool. When we were out in the swamps, I was in New Orleans in an air-conditioned office, okay?
Nice.
And then we'd have these runners.
Yeah.
And these runners were people that we hired that their sole job was to go from New Orleans and drive to whatever podunk swamp one of the fucking characters were and pick up the camera, the tapes from the guy who's out on the swamps and then drive it back to me.
Okay.
So then every 3 days I would get a stack of tapes.
Okay.
And I was maybe in charge of like 3 teams, 3 boats.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And I would just wash down all their footage and I would usually get them about 2 days to 3 days after they've been shot.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, they're out there shooting for 30 days.
Wow.
Because it's a 30-day season.
Yeah.
So I got to wash down all the tapes. And as I'm watching down all the tapes as a producer, what I'm doing is I'm trying to mark moments that actually have some type of story. Okay? So let's just say you're one of the characters on the boat. And let's just say that you kind of got scratched up a bit and you hurt your arm a bit while fighting a gator or whatever.
Yeah.
I will call the camera guy and be like, hey, man, do you remember when Eric like got hit with the thing on Tuesday? And he'd be like, yeah. Well, I saw another footage shot that you probably didn't pay attention, but on mic, his brother was talking to him and saying how he's really hurt. That elbow doesn't feel so good. I need you to play that up as you're on the swamp. We want to build a story around how hard it is for Chase to fight alligators, because later on he's going to end up be fighting alone and we want to connect the dots.
Yeah.
So then now once I relay that to the camera guy is going to go to you out in the swamp. He's like, hey man, remember when you hit your thing? Whatever. Yeah. Next time we're out here or whatever, something like that happens, play it up.
Okay.
So that's how we kind of fake it a bit.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And then not only that, the guys on the swamp kind of understand how a reality show works. They've been on it for so long. They start feeding us stories.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
You know, and it's just, so it's a mixture of like some things are real. And then there's a lot of mixture of how we mix things in the editing, how we fake it in interview. Yeah. You know?
Right
so
on.
It's pretty interesting.
That brought you to LA?
Yeah, that's what got me to LA, because I created a web series first, long story short, and then I put a guy in my hometown as the bad guy in this web series. The web series that I created is called The Ed and Mo Show, edandmoshow.com, and it basically is a fake reality show. Okay. But the audience that watched my show thought that these guys were real. Okay. And they thought the whole thing was real. It looked like if you watch it, it looks like a big TV crew created it. You know what I'm saying? But I did it basically by myself with the help of 3 other people. And it looked just like a TV show. And I got one of the guys, Tariq Salamasi, to be the bad guy in the story. And he's a boxer. And he was on the reality show The Contender. Yeah. That came out with Sylvester Stallone in the early 2000s. Right? One of the producers of that. So when I released it on the web, that boxer thought, man, this is fucking amazing. So he sent it to the guy who produced The Contender. Okay. And it's like, dude, you got to watch this shit. This is like amazing. And then that guy was like, yeah, this guy's pretty talented. Yeah, so then he ended up showing the video to the producer of The Contender. Yeah. And the guy was kind of impressed, but he didn't do anything about it. And then one day I came to LA. Yeah. Because I had a friend out here. I have a lot of friends out here, as a matter of fact, from Detroit. And he was trying to get me to move out here. And he was like, hey, man, why don't you come, stay with me for a couple of weeks, see if you like LA, man. I think this place will work for you. You're a filmmaker. You fucking love whatever. I'm like, all right, cool. So I came here with the idea that, man, I'm going to fucking find a job. I really believed I'm going to fucking find a job. 2 weeks goes by. I couldn't find a goddamn thing. I felt defeated. And then I remember I posted a thing on Facebook.
Yeah.
Hey, man, been out here in LA for 2 weeks. Going to be heading back in Detroit. Who wants to hang out for the weekend? I put some type of shit like that. That boxer Tarek saw that. And he's like, what the fuck? You're in LA? You should have told me. And I'm like, why? He's like, dude, I'm going to set you up an appointment with Adam, the guy who produced The Contender. And then I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, I'll get back to you. Then he comes back to me. He goes, gives me a phone number. This is the number to his assistant. He said he'll meet you tomorrow. Set up the time with his assistant. What the fuck? So I sent the message to the assistant. We set up a time for the next day. I couldn't fucking believe it, bro. So I went over there. I met him. His name is Adam Briles. Me and him are like good friends now.
Yeah. Oh, that's
and we went to go sit down. And basically my buddy Tarek, who's this like, you know, Lebanese boxer, he's very old school Arab. So I'm sure he called Adam. He's like, hey, you I don't care what you're doing, bro. You got to fucking hang out with my buddy Mike, bro. He's in town. You got to meet him. He's real talented.
Yeah.
He did that video I showed you, whatever. So we went, we sat down. For a half hour, me and Adam are talking about pussy. That's it. That's all of the whole fucking time. We talk about dating and women and this and that and how much I love California and this, that, and the other thing. We just became boys instantly.
Yeah.
He's like a cool dude.
nice.
Then after it got done, he looked at his watch. He was like, hey, man, my lunch is up, man. He's like, I got to get back to work. He's like, it was nice meeting you. He goes, if you're ever back in LA, he's like, man, you make sure you hit me up. I was like, okay. And I felt like, fuck, bro. And he shook my hand. Arab, I'm so proud of myself. He shook my hand. And when he shook my hand, I wouldn't let it go. I like held it tight.
Yeah, yeah.
And I brought him closer and I was like, give me a job. I looked him straight in the eye. I'm like, give me a job. And he started laughing. I'm like, dude, I'm supposed to fly out tomorrow. I don't want to. Give me a job. And he goes, you're overqualified to be a PA, man. He goes, you got good skills. He goes, all I have are like production assistant. I'm like, I'll fucking take it. I'll cancel my flight. Give me that job.
You were going to go back to Detroit?
Huh?
You were going back to Detroit?
I only came for 2 weeks.
Oh,
that's why I told. No, that's why I said. No. I'm talking about. This is when I first came to LA. This is how I got the job at Swamp People.
Oh, okay.
This was 8 years ago.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So like 8 years ago, I came to visit. And then as I came to visit, my buddy, the boxer that I did the web series with, he ended up like finding out that I said that I'm coming back to Detroit. I only went to LA for 2 weeks. Remember I told you I came at 2 weeks.
But you were looking for a job. Yeah.
I wanted to stay here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Couldn't find anything. And then just the day before I was about to fucking leave, my buddy gave me that meeting with Adam.
Okay.
And when we got done with the meeting, I told you I wouldn't let his hand go. I was like, give me a job, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm supposed to fly out tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
And he gave me a production assistant job on this fucking show called Tattoo Rescue. I was basically a fucking gopher on set.
Yeah.
Busted my fucking ass.
Yeah.
Then after we were done, after like 2 months of work, he walked up to me and he goes, hey, man, he goes, I really appreciate your hustle, dude. And he goes, I promise you, he goes, my next thing that I'm working on, I'm going to think about you to produce episodes. He goes, we're way too qualified to be a PA. He goes, I'll think about you for the next production. You know, people say that shit and you never hear from them.
Right.
All of a sudden, bro, like 6 months goes by. I end up getting a job in New York producing this show for YouTube. Came back to my mom's house, just chilling. I just got done doing a job. And how often does somebody like in Hollywood say, hey, I'm going to think about you and I'll make sure I call you or whatever.
It's Hollywood talk.
And then you don't hear that shit, right?
All day.
Fucking 6 months goes by, man. I just got done with this show in New York. I produced a YouTube show for Lion TV. And that's back when like YouTube was like giving money out to try to figure out if they can make TV shows. This is before they actually started making TV shows. So they hired me to do like this reality cooking show with these two guys, the Fung brothers. Andrew Fung and his brother. And long story short, I came back from that, man, and I haven't been back in Detroit for 1 week. I get a phone call. I pick up the phone. Hey, man, it's Adam. I'm like, hey, Adam, what's going on? He's like, oh, not much, man. He goes, I'm the new producer of Swamp People. Oh. He goes, we just got out of the field shooting in the swamp. He goes, I want you in the post-production crew. He goes, are you ready to move to LA?
That's awesome.
And I was like, what, dude? And fuck yeah, bro. Right away. Put everything in fucking storage. Boom.
Yeah.
Went over there and worked on that show for 3 years. And that's what got me out here, man.
That's awesome. So from there, you came here?
Yeah. Came here, man. Worked on that show for about 3.5 years. And then I ended up doing an intense mushroom trip in Bali, Indonesia And out of that mushroom trip, my ego got out of the way, bro. That trip hit me so fucking hard in Indonesia. I came out of that trip knowing that I was going to quit reality TV. I was going to reinvest harder in real estate.
Yeah.
I was going to free myself from having to have a job, and that I was going to pursue comedy. Because I realized, like, in the end, that trip made me realize, I was like, what the fuck are you doing reality TV for? You're fucking good at making people laugh.
Yeah.
And it was really weird. It was like the trip told me the real reason why you like producing Swamp People is because you love the clout of telling people that you produced this hit TV show. My ego loved that. I love going around telling people I'm a producer. What do you produce? Swamp People. I remember I told people in the airport, people would take a picture with me.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? I'm just some dude that, like, I want to tell people, I want to tell my friends, man. It's one of the guys that makes Swamp People.
Yeah, yeah.
But that trip in Indonesia, that mushroom trip, got my ego out of the way, and it made me realize, yo, man, you are fucking wasting a talent that you should be doing. You should be fucking making people laugh. And I did everything. As soon as I got out of that trip, I did everything. I quit reality. I fucking reinvested in my real estate in a very smart way.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then I started pursuing comedy, man. And
Jesus, that was better than a Tony Robbins seminar, bro.
yeah, dude. Hey, go to Indonesia, do mushrooms, and that's all you need. Fuck Tony Robbins. Just get your ego out of the way.
You figured that all out yourself. You didn't need a motivational speaker to say, "Hey, you know what, Mike? You should do this. Hey, Mike, you should go do stand up. You should go do."
Dude, do you like mushroom stories?
I do.
Can I give you this one?
Sure.
Just real quick,
Yeah,
bro.
I think you've already given me two.
No, but this one here, when I went to Indonesia, man,
Yeah.
this is the one that made me. This was the hardest trip I ever had, and it changed the entire trajectory of my fucking life, bro.
I love hearing that shit. Tell me.
2014, Friday the 13th, full moon.
Okay.
How often do those days converge?
No.
Friday the 13th,
Yeah.
fucking full moon.
That's nuts.
And in Indonesia, and especially in Southeast Asia, if you're ever in Southeast Asia, full moon beach parties are a big thing.
Really?
When the full moon comes out, they throw big ass parties on the beach with fire dancers and DJs and drinking and psychedelics like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I took so much fucking mushrooms that day. I fasted the whole day on purpose so that when I ate all the mushrooms, it would hit me super fucking hard.
Wow.
And in Indonesia, when you hire fucking a guy from mushrooms, I just picked up my phone and I speak Indonesian because my mom was born there, and I call some fucking kid, right? And we're sitting in this fucking beach restaurant. It's a restaurant, but it's on the fucking beach.
Yeah.
Right?
Nice.
The restaurant is basically got wood tables and everything, but the sand underneath you.
Fuck.
Families eating everywhere. It's on an island called Gili T. There are no cops on this island. There are no motor vehicles on the island. The island is so small, everything has to be drawn by horse carriage.
Wow.
Okay? I pull out my phone. I call some Indonesian kid. I place an order for a shitload of fucking mushrooms. The kid comes on a fucking bike, throws the bike onto the sidewalk, runs up to our fucking table, and all these mushrooms are on our table.
Jesus.
In front of families.
Wow.
They don't give a fuck out there.
No.
The mushrooms come in a cone. The cone is made out of a banana leaf. It's so old school Indonesia. They take a banana leaf and then they wrap it into a cone and they put a toothpick through it, and then that's where they put the mushrooms in. Oh. And the mushrooms have dirt on it because they just picked it.
Wow.
So it's not even dry.
Jesus.
Yeah. So then you get up, and I had like 10 of these cones, bro. It was just stuffed with mushrooms.
Yeah.
And my friend split 5. I ate all 5.
Wow.
On an empty stomach.
Jesus.
Then my plan was an hour after we ate, now we can eat a light meal.
Yeah.
So it won't soak up the fucking drugs, right?
Right.
We all ordered the same salad. The salads came out. That's when the trip hit. Bro, I looked in my bowl. I swear to God, every morsel of food in there had a cartoon face, and they were doing this to me. No, don't eat us. That's how hard I was tripping, bro. I fucking slammed that salad. Then we went out to the beach, bro. And you know how when you do mushrooms, man, the trip comes in waves, right?
Yeah.
Like a roller coaster, right? So then you hit a, ooh. It's like, whoa, you're seeing shit, and then it dies down, right? Yeah. And then you hit another peak, but that peak is higher than the last peak, right? And then you keep doing that until you hit the very big peak.
Yeah.
And then after that, every subsequent peak after that is a little less and less and less and less, right?
Yeah,
That's usually the roller coaster of mushrooms.
Yep.
Peak, down. Bigger peak, down. big peak down, then super big peak, and then all these other peaks on the way down.
Right.
When I hit that fucking major peak, bro, everything started vibrating. And I remember I was talking to my friend Sean McGettigan, and you know how when you trip so hard on mushrooms, sometimes you can't have a conversation with someone?
Yeah.
It's just impossible.
Yeah.
And that fucking wave hit me, and I told him, I was like, dude, I'll be right back. And I laid down on the ground, and I looked up at the sky and the full moon, and I saw all the stars, and they started connecting the dots. And it made this woman's face, like this beautiful feminine face in the sky, and it was just glowing. And
so it was nighttime.
It was nighttime, yeah. It was full moon beach party. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
You started during the day, right?
Just before the sunset.
Okay.
Just for the sunset when I hit.
That's the perfect
Just
time.
for the sunset. So I'm like, now I'm probably like 3.5 hours in, and it's just, I'm in another world.
Yeah.
So I see this woman's face in the sky. Dude, you're going to love this. I started going closer to it. And as I got closer to it, I was like, look how mesmerized by how beautiful she was. Then I realized in the middle of my trip, I go, wait a minute. Am I flying? And I literally looked down and I could see an aerial view of the beach. That's how hard I was fucking tripping. And in the middle of my trip, I remember I said, fuck yeah. And I had complete control, and all I did was get closer to her. Long story short, bro, when I came back from that trip, that bitch told me something. She didn't say anything specifically with her words, but when I came back, that's when I realized I'm quitting reality TV.
Yeah.
I'm reinvesting in real estate, and I'm going into fucking comedy.
It's wild.
This is what trips me out. 2 years goes by after that trip, after I met her. I called her the Mosquito Queen. It's the only way I could describe her. She had this face. She had these wings jutting out of her. I called her the Mosquito Queen. 2 years goes by, Eric. I start going on Reddit. I start looking up ayahuasca trips. And somebody put on Reddit, I just had my first ayahuasca trip. Ask me anything. And the first question was, did you see her? Bro, like every hair on me just started raising up. I couldn't believe somebody asked the question, did you see her? And then the next person said, yeah, did you see Mother Ayahuasca? So I went on Google and I did an image search for Mother Ayahuasca. Every fucking picture is some woman's face in the stars. So why is everybody seeing this bitch?
But you called her Mosquito Queen.
Well, I mean, that's the only way I could describe her. You know, bro, let me show you this, man. I have to show you this real quick. This is why this shit fucking trips me the fuck out, man. When it comes to tripping, like this is the part of the trip that I had that made me really realize that maybe there's something out there, you know. Now I told you I saw this woman's face in the sky, right? And I did an image search, and every image search is some woman's face in the sky. Look at that.
Yeah, that's wild. Is that how it looked?
It looked more like this one right here.
Okay.
See how she had like wings coming out of her? Like
okay. Yeah.
Her head a little bit.
Yeah.
But she's in the stars. Yeah. And then here's another one. Oh, another woman's face.
It's wild. And you communicated with her, but not with words.
No, she didn't say shit to me. It's just when I came back, I realized my ego was driving. My ego was driving the whole time.
Yeah.
And I just felt good by telling people I was a producer, especially if you're in Hollywood. If you walk around in Hollywood and you meet some girl.
Dude. Yeah.
How great is it for you to be like, I'm a producer? I produce
like
TV.
Get out of jail card. It's like, boom,
It's like you walk around with this flex.
Right.
Like, wow, you produce, wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's in this town. Are you kidding me?
And that mushroom trip made me give that up to be a loser comedian. You see what I'm saying? Like, so maybe don't do mushrooms. I don't know.
That's awesome.
But how crazy is that? I saw her.
It's wild.
And then 2 years later, I find out everyone's seeing her.
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild.
It's fucking amazing, bro.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. You know, so Rogan had somebody on there who was an expert on mushrooms, and they said they did studies, and they found out that people who were, because so many people are like, they say you got to do mushrooms because it'll get rid of your ego.
Yeah.
But they're finding out like if you give it to a narcissist, somebody who's an actual narcissist, it does the opposite. It inflates their ego. So how many people have you heard saying, hey, man, we should like get Trump to trip on mushrooms? Maybe he'll be a more enlightened person. Right. Well, these studies are saying, no, it's going to do the opposite.
Oh, okay. I've never heard that. Yeah, I've never heard that. They say that about weed, though, too, right? Like it it chills you out. You know what I mean?
If you take enough, you'll be paranoid.
And,
yeah. But what are you saying?
I'm saying that it gets rid of like ego and it makes you like more chill. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
You know, maybe, you know, if you're a narcissist, I think of somebody that's just like all in your face telling you how great that person is. And,
yeah.
You know what I mean? But like when you smoke weed, you don't normally encounter people like that. Like, oh, you know what I do? And, you know.
Usually people who are narcissists don't want to smoke weed.
Right.
Because I think that makes them realize they're
Well, I don't think they want to do mushrooms either.
Well, because then it'll make them realize that it's terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? I don't know, man. I just drugs makes me a nicer person. It just makes me a better person. You know?
Yeah.
I think alcohol is the one that you got to worry about.
Absolutely. 100%.
This is the real fire, bro.
It really is.
We've been here for 2 hours. Look, I'm still not finished with this. That's how much I respect this fucking thing.
And you should. You should. This. I mean, you're talking about doing a mass amount of mushrooms or acid or DMT, right? And it takes you to this place where you discover, you know, what your true being should be, and like going out there doing positive shit, you know, this and that, and what a wonderful thing, man. You know, to change your life and to get rid of ego. You do this. This is like throwing gasoline on fire.
Exactly.
Ego. Yeah,
exactly, bro.
Yeah, right.
You know Duncan Trussell?
Yeah.
The comedian Duncan Trussell?
Yeah, dude.
I love his podcast because I haven't listened to his podcast in a while, but he's very like spiritual.
Yeah.
And he was talking about, and he's making so much sense, how the ancient humans were less egotistical because they lived in cultures where psychedelics were part of their thing. And then he goes, then it wasn't a transition until later where people started like using alcohol, and now we have this egotistical nature. Whereas like civilization is revolved around selfies and pictures and Instagram. And
that makes perfect sense, bro. That makes perfect sense. Cause I mean, like the natives, right? They're like, this isn't our land. It's our land. It's everybody's land. Right. And the Europeans came and said, no.
Yeah.
Put down their flag. It's our land.
You ever heard of how much they bought like one of the states from the Indians? Like they paid like maybe like $500 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And like the white guys were like, these idiots sold this for $500. Where like the Native Americans like, these idiots think that you can buy land.
That's great. Yeah.
Lo and behold, the white people figured out how to make that a reality.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know.
So yeah, that's.
Are you white?
Oh, dude, am I white? I'm Mexican, dude.
Okay, good.
You know that. What the fuck?
I know you're Mexican. I just wanted because you could pass for like a white guy or like Italian.
Yeah, in certain circles. But no, dude. I just got back from Tulum, dude, and that's Mayan country, bro. So we went on some tours, my girlfriend and I, of the tombs, man. Not the tombs, but the ruins, bro. And that shit's crazy, bro. The Mayans were they looked up to the stars, bro, and a lot of the what their life or culture revolved around was because
plotting out the stars.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like they knew so much.
Yeah.
Which is funny because like Graham Hancock is somebody who has said that he's found water erosion around the pyramids and the Sphinx, which means that it predates ancient Egypt civilization even further back.
Damn.
So even like maybe not, they were thinking like it was 2,000 or 3,000 years ago. They're thinking now it's 20,000 years ago. So now with all these new discoveries, they're theorizing that humans were very, very advanced way back then.
Yeah.
And some cataclysmic event like a giant volcano erupted and wiped out majority of all that learning, and we had to start all over again.
Yeah.
So this new civilization of starting all over, like the Mayans, were actually still borrowing remnants of ancient knowledge from the previous technological advanced humans.
Wow.
Because imagine everything that we have right now.
Yeah.
Imagine if a big comet and just wiped everything clean.
Yeah.
And then only like 10,000 humans lived. Now, those 10,000 humans have to start all over again. Mm-hmm. Those 10,000 humans will probably still have some knowledge that they can still pass down. And when you pass it down with just word, it gets
Right.
It turns into religion now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which is why, like, sometimes if you like look at religion, it's like some of it is wacky, but then some of it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like in the Quran, it actually describes how weather patterns work.
Really?
In a rhyme. Did you know the whole Quran rhymes?
No.
From front to back, it's one long cipher.
What?
The Quran rhymes. It's the whole thing. It's teaching you life and it's rhyming. The whole thing. And yeah, like there's scientific stuff in there. You know what I mean? Of course, not to the point of now, but it's to a point where if you understand weather patterns and you read this one verse, it makes you go, what the fuck did they know about weather patterns?
Yeah.
You know?
It's wild. And it's crazy is, the Mayan territory, I mean, not territory because they didn't own shit, right? But it went from Guatemala to, like Cancun, Mexico, and they had roads, bro, that take you from temple to temple. It's
that there's
wild.
Also a part down there that's like a part of a mountain range that's been leveled. And it's been like that for so long, and they don't know how they leveled that part of the mountain range. And a lot of people speculate they probably had some type of air travel then, and that was like some type of landing strip that they figured out how to make.
Right.
Who the fuck knows,
that's wild. Bro? Well, that stuff in Peru, that's what really makes me think that they were flying some shit because you could only see it from the air. The writings. That sort of shit. Because like when you're on ground level, you're just like, that's a line.
How about these aliens that they're now starting to fucking declassify? How about the Navy finally saying, the footage that's been released by the Blink 182 guy, that's actually real and it's unidentified flying object?
The Pentagon said, that's real.
And not only that, now with the last COVID bill, they snuck in a thing that says that the government has 6 months to disclose all UFO information.
What? No, I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
And did you know that right now you can go and download all those files?
Oh, okay.
Hey, bro. God is here.
Yeah.
And he's a big green alien. On mushrooms.
Nice. Yeah. That's the whole, the moral to this podcast. I had a really heavy trip like the one you described in Indonesia. And I felt like I lifted off my body and I flew. And I don't remember if I feel like it was an out of body experience. I think that was it. Like I felt like I left my body and I traveled. And I think that's how time travel is really done. I think it's not
in the mind.
Machine. Yeah.
Yes, I think so too, bro.
Yeah. Right. It's not you go into this toaster oven, right? And then it'll take you back to 56.
I think so too, bro.
Pew. Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I also think that's how we access parallel universes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm reading a book right now. Very hard book to read. It's a science book. It's called The Hidden Reality by Brian Greene, who's a quantum mathematician.
Okay.
This thing is so technical.
Yeah.
But basically in the book, he's trying to describe how science and math is now discovering that there are parallel universes that we all reside in.
Yeah.
And the math is showing that. The math is showing that there's an infinite number of slivers of this universe all next to each other like in a loaf. And you reside in every single one.
Wow, that's deep.
And I'm actually writing a movie based on that. There's an idea called quantum immortality, which means that your consciousness, they theorize, since it's energy, cannot be destroyed. And if there are multiple parallel universes, if you die in this one, you experience another one. So the idea is that you will never experience your own death.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah.
I mean, of course it's very theoretical, but I think it's very fun to play with.
Yeah, for sure. I like that concept. You know what I mean? I haven't thought about that, but I do. I like it.
Quantum immortality, bro.
Yeah.
That whole theory trips me the fuck out.
Well, that makes sense, because also I sometimes think I'm reliving the same life.
You might be.
I know.
And the math is starting to show that. That's what's tripping me the fuck out, bro.
Yeah.
It's like religion and science are starting to merge.
How so?
I mean, bro, like so many things that like science tries to brush off on religion. Now science are starting to find new discoveries that almost validate religion. Mm-hmm. Like this new idea in string theory where they are starting to speculate that we might be in some very intricate simulation. Have you heard of simulation theory?
Yeah.
That we might be in a simulation. Mm-hmm. What's crazy is the string theorists stumbled upon a computer code written in the fabric of the universe.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And it's not just any computer code. It's a specific computer code that was developed by a computer scientist in the 1940s. So why is this computer code that was developed by one of the first computer scientists, a computer code that runs all our computers right now, why are they finding that computer code written in the fabric of the fucking universe? So now with this really weird discovery, they're thinking that we might be living in a simulation, right? Yeah. Now, for so long, Christians, Muslims, and all of them, they speculate that the universe is only 12,000 years old, right?
Yeah.
And science always makes fun of that. Even Bill Hicks, the old comedian, he had a bit about that. He's like, oh, Christians think that the universe is only 12,000 years old. Well, I got one word for you. Dinosaurs.
Right.
Explain dinosaurs.
Right.
So, Christians, Muslims, Jews think the universe is 12,000 years old. Science makes fun of that and says, no, it's actually 50 billion years old.
Right.
Now, my question is, what if the simulation is 12,000 years old, simulated to be 50 billion years old? I mean, what the...
Are you serious?
So what if the simulation is 12,000 years old? Maybe the Christians were right all along.
Yeah.
The Bible's saying the fucking universe is only 12,000 years old.
Yeah.
We're going, no, it's 50 billion years old. Now we're finding out it's a simulation. What if the simulation is 12,000 years old, simulated to be 50 billion years old?
Yeah.
Game over, son. I don't even know what the fuck to think anymore.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. Dude, for two comedians, we've been philosophizing this whole fucking time, dude. Jesus, not one dick joke in this whole episode.
Bro, I'm sorry, bro. The mushrooms kicked in. I gotta go though,
nuts.
bro.
Yeah, for sure.
I gotta be at this thing.
Right on, brother. No, thank you for coming by, bro.
Thank you, brother.
If
this is fun,
dude, like next time you come back, man, we'll stick to stand up. But I like going deep though too.
Is that usually you like to try to stick to stand up? I don't know, man. I fucking trail off. I'm sorry.
I mean, I want it to be about whatever the guest is, and I just want it to flow. Nothing scripted. You know, I like throwing out these random questions that I get from this.
I like that too, man.
Too. I like that.
That's a very good conversation starter, right?
Thank you. I just feel like, you know, like for someone maybe that's a fan of the podcast or whatnot, it might be hard to like get on board with some of the, you know, different, I guess, because every episode is different because there's no structure.
So you're not necessarily trying to keep it towards stand up, is it?
No, but like a lot of the people that I've had on is stand up. You know what I mean? But I think this shows that, you know, stand-ups are fucking deep people, dude. And they got like so many different, interests and ways about life. I mean, dude, have you ever heard like fucking Jim Carrey talk, bro?
Oh yeah,
he's a deep motherfucker,
deep,
dude.
Bro.
Deep, dude.
Very deep.
And he's like one of the funniest people on this planet.
Same thing with
bro.
Chappelle. I remember when we used to watch Chappelle on the Chappelle Show. You would have this one view of Dave Chappelle, and then finally he was on Inside the Actor Studio.
Oh, right.
And that was the first time I saw him.
Phenomenal.
And I realized how angry he was. Like on Chappelle's Show, he was just this goofy dude.
Yeah.
But then on Inside the Actor Studio, he was this guy who was disenchanted with Americans. He's like, I really thought, I remember he goes, I threw a lot of N-words in my show. He goes, because I really thought America was ready for it. And then he goes, now I got to be out and white kids are calling me the N-word. And I'm like, no, you're not getting it, you fucking idiots. And to see him mad about that and deep about that, I remember when I was really young, it really proved to me, I was like, yeah, man, these comedians are much deeper and more layered. And actually more people. Same thing with fighters, like UFC fighters. I don't know how many times I talked to like so many people and they would just have this view of like all those boneheads.
Right.
Dude, some of these guys are some of the smartest motherfuckers on the planet, man.
Yeah.
Very thoughtful, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, there's more than meets the eye. Transformers!
Yeah. No, I love it. Mike, if they want to find you, where can they find you?
Oh, yeah. Mike from Detroit on everything. Venmo, Twitter, Pornhub. Fucking find me. Everything. Mike from Detroit on everything. Also known as Public Yemeni. If you go to publicyemeni.com, it'll just take you to MikeFromDetroit.com. But I'm thinking about starting a podcast. I'm going to call it Public Yemeni #1.
That's cool. I like that's a dope ass shirt. Dude.
Yeah.
I like that.
We're going to see where it goes. So,
Do it,
Mike
buddy.
from Detroit.
I love it.
Holler
Thanks,
at your boy.
Mike. Good to see you, brother.